How should the Nets feel about Kyrie's decision? Come on.
To me, still, they should feel reluctantly good.
Oh, here we go. I knew it. Come on, man. Start over.
You got to feel reluctantly good because here's what we know about Kyrie Irving.
What we know?
Kyrie Irving is better in perception than he is in reality.
Really?
Truth.
You believe that?
But the truth is,
You believe that?
somebody else is actually going to perceive that Kyrie Irving is better than he is, like Marcellus Wiley does. So you feel reluctantly good because if you're the Nets, you have retained a superstar player. Now, he ain't got superstar production, but he got superstar name. Not superstar game, but he got superstar name. Somebody, hopefully, will take the bait. See, now that you got Kyrie Irving on your squad, now you can go ahead and wheel and deal him, wheel and deal him, wheel and deal him. Truth be told, Kyrie Irving does not translate to winning, at least not in Brooklyn. We know Kyrie Irving with the Nets versus the Nets without Kyrie Irving, relatively the same. If we're being honest, last season the Nets were better without Kyrie Irving than they were with Kyrie Irving. The numbers speak for themselves, as I will speak for myself on Speak for Yourself. Look at the numbers, y'all. Kyrie Irving, he don't really translate to winning all that much, all that well. So the Nets don't need to be ecstatic because they're about to win a championship. No. Kyrie Irving has proven that more often than not, particularly in Brooklyn, you're not even going to get close to winning a championship. But the Nets should feel reluctantly good because by retaining Kyrie Irving, they might be able to deal him to a team who's convinced he's a better player than he is in reality.
Oh, my goodness. All right. They should be so ecstatic that they dodged a bullet in losing Kyrie Irving. This is how you should feel. I'm not going to come from that brave position that it sounds like you're coming from where, Kyrie Irving, you're 27-6-4. We'll find that somewhere else. Oh, we didn't need Kyrie Irving because we haven't won with Kyrie Irving. I remind you that this team has the championship potential with Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons coming back playing together. But they haven't seen that just yet. So why would you scrap a plan that you never even fully tried to execute? If you're on the Brooklyn Nets right now, you're excited because it's hard to even imagine how can you replicate what Kyrie Irving presents to you guys in production. 27-6-4, like, let's just be real. It's improbable that you can go out there and piece it together in a package deal to get players to add up to his level of production. But it's impossible to go find another player as talented as Kyrie Irving that's going to help this team become champions. You know why? Because one, Kyrie Irving's already a champion. You a lie. Perception and reality, you a damn lie. Kyrie Irving's already a champion. And it's funny, you are coming from a position like it hasn't worked, so scrap it. But if you have that mindset, you know how many teams would have really suffered with that same mindset? Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, it ain't working with Giannis and Chris Middleton. Scrap it. Oh, what happened? If you let it slowly bake, it can turn into something. If you look at the Golden State Warriors, when they were trying to trade Klay Thompson and Jerry West had to say, over my dead body, what happened with them? All of a sudden, they blossomed into something. This is the same slow-baked mentality that you need to have, even with a team as talented as the Brooklyn Nets. If I'm on the Nets or if I'm anyone in that organization, I'm elated that we dodged a bullet in Kyrie's departure.
So, you're a smart man. My favorite thing about working with Marcellus Wiley is his competence. It's my favorite thing, y'all. So I got a lot of things, but that's my favorite. You brought up a decent example. If you get rid of something before it's fully baked, you'll never get to see the outcome, the best ultimate outcome. Here's the problem with your example. See, Kyrie Irving, in my mind, has hit his peak as a basketball player. Now, how long can he maintain his peak? Let's discuss that. But a man's physical prime is at 26 years old. It's not my opinion. It's just kinesiology. It's just anatomy. It's just what the doctors say. So he's past his physical peak, but typically athletes can maintain that peak for a while. How long can Kyrie maintain that peak? The reason the Nets shouldn't feel that great is because Kyrie's not going to get any better. See, the Celtics, had we scrapped the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, that would have been premature. But as we know, Jason Tatum hasn't reached his peak. Not only he hasn't reached his physical peak, he's not 26 years old, neither is Jaylen Brown. He hasn't reached his basketball peak. Giannis would go on to Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. Clearly, Giannis hadn't reached his physical peak. When they were talking about scrapping that, and they never truly were because Giannis was never that big a deal, Giannis had not won an MVP, let alone a back-to-back MVP.
Let's do it.
But Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, as basketball players, they have reached their peak. Can they maintain their peak? Absolutely. But KD is not going to become a better basketball player tomorrow than he was yesterday. Kyrie Irving is not going to become a better basketball player tomorrow than he was yesterday. So the fact of the matter is, you know what you got in these ingredients.
Okay.
And what you have in these ingredients is not good enough to make a championship caliber meal. So for that reason, I feel good because I got Kyrie, but it's only reluctantly good because the only point in having Kyrie is to try to wheel and deal Kyrie.
Wow. So you don't think this team has a championship potential? You don't think they could cook up a championship meal?
No, sir.
Oh, that's just more for me then. Because if you ain't going to eat these ribs, trust me, look at this team. Oh, Acho, you brought up an amazing example, and I knew the same number. 26 years old, that's when you're in your physical peak, but not your physical prime. And certainly not your production prime, which is completely different than just your physical prime. So let's go. Peak, 26. Prime? Hey, that's depending on how you want to do it. Production prime? LeBron James is 12 years outside of his peak in terms of physical production, but what is he doing? Still producing. You gave me examples at 26. If it ain't happening at 26, we doubt that you're going to be in a better position physically. Except we've seen champions like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry all get their first championship of many, first championship at the age of 27. So we're looking at a situation now with Kyrie Irving, who is playing better basketball when he's playing basketball, which is rare, and Kevin Durant, who actually has better numbers since leaving Golden State. Outside of their peak in terms of physical prime, but still productive in their productive prime. All that said, man, look, I'm going to give you one example. Tell me if you could beat up this example. Kobe Bryant comes to mind. Remember when Kobe Bryant twice, wanted to leave the Lakers because he said, I don't like this organization. I don't like the moves you guys are making. Was going to become a Los Angeles Clipper at one time. Was going to become a Chicago Bull at one time. But he stayed still. And by staying still, all of a sudden, that turned into 2 more championships for Kobe Bryant. But if he would have had Acho's mentality, he would have had your plan. He would just scrap the meal before it was even baked, before it was even cooked, before it was even prepared to be eaten. This is the same mentality you have to apply. I keep giving you examples. Golden State Warriors, Milwaukee Bucks. Also, let's talk about Kobe Bryant the Great. That's the mentality of a champion, and that's how they're going to become champions.
My only problem with that is studies, statistics, and all those things just don't necessarily agree with you. Now, you do have a year, give or take. As I look at it, Kobe Bryant, when he was 26, turning 27, that's when he averaged 35 points a game. 27 turning 28, that's when he averaged 31 points a game. After that, there was roughly a 15% drop-off from 35 points a game to 28 points a game to 26 points a game, and Kyrie Irving is now at that 30-year-old mark. Now, you can still be productive beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Oh, the chips came after that.
No doubt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Kobe got his chips as I look at it. 30 years old, 31 years old, 29 years old. He was in the chip. He lost, obviously.
Let's do it.
So you can still be productive, but you know who you are by 30. We know who Kyrie Irving is right here, right now. And if we gonna be honest, gonna be honest.
He's already a champion then. If we know who he is, he's a champion. Why you don't want to give him the same credit you give everyone else that's a one-time champion out there? Like Kyrie Irving's like, dog, I'm a wizard with the basketball. You don't want to respect that. I'm giving you 27 a game. You don't want to respect that. I'm a champion. You don't want to respect that. So why are you respecting anybody? You know what? I was thinking about you this morning. And somehow, some way, I was like, this dude got a love affair for a 1 year balling out of control Deebo Samuel, who's not a champion. But you would swear by Deebo Samuel, and I know it's a different sport, but it brings home the point. He's not a champion, and he's only done it one time. Kyrie's done it several times. He's a 7-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA player who's a champion and can't get a sniff of love from you. But then a dude like Deebo Samuel, who just showed you one hit wonder year, all of a sudden, he's your guy. He's a poster
I give you a couple reasons.
Help me.
First, be really real. Deebo was not in my top 5 nor your top 5 when we ranked our wide receivers just 2 weeks ago. So it's not as though I have a crazy love affair with Deebo Samuel like I do a love affair with Steph Curry. Let's just be really real. But it comes down to this. Kyrie Irving is too much of a project right now. And the Nets have nothing but projects. Ben Simmons, project. You got to work on Ben Simmons to get on the court. Kyrie Irving, project. You got to work on Kyrie Irving to get on the court. I'm tired of all these projects. I'm in the middle cell right now of a home remodel. Crazy.
You just bought a home.
Exactly.
What'd that do?
My point. I'm in the middle of this home remodel. And what I've learned, unfortunately, about a home remodel is the second one thing goes right, another thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
Sal, I told you this before. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell on myself, America.
Let's go.
I needed to get new blinds and new shades in my house. I needed new blinds and new shades in my house. So it took me about 6 weeks. As y'all know, you got to custom order some blinds, takes them 6 to 8 weeks to come in. Great. They finally arrived. They're getting installed. Finally, my shades and my blinds are getting installed. Everything is great.
So nobody can see you no more.
Nobody can see me.
Bucket naked.
Kind of. Problem.
What?
As they're drilling into the wall to install the blinds so the blinds can automatically roll down, they hit the wrong point into the wall, shatter my glass.
Damn.
Now, as I hire a glass guy to come fix the shattered glass in my house, they're trying to fix the pocket door where the glass belongs. Problem.
Wow.
They break the lock. Now, as they fix the broken lock to the shattered glass on my door while installing the blinds, problem.
What's that?
The glass ain't tinted. So now all the other windows got a certain shade of color, but this glass ain't got a certain shade of color. I got all these projects.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets are a team with a whole bunch of projects. I still feel good because I live in the hills. But I feel reluctantly good because I'm dealing with a whole bunch of projects. The Nets should still feel good because you got Kyrie, you got KD, you got Ben Simmons, but you got to feel reluctantly good because you got a whole bunch of projects.
Ooh, I like the example. I'm going to map it on to this question in particular and say this. Did the Golden State Warriors, who are just now champions once again, have a bunch of projects in the course of becoming champions once again? Let's be real. Ever since Kevin Durant's departure, we saw injuries to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson again, Draymond Green, projects, Jordan Poole. You're on the G League team. Like, those are projects. And what happened? All of a sudden, it starts to work together. I don't know what's going to happen with your house. To being real, you need to go on Thumbtack. Get your life together. Ain't no tent on the windows. Who they think you are? All I'm saying is, if I look at the Brooklyn Nets in totality, in the Eastern Conference, which to me, of the two conferences, is the path of least resistance, they got what they need. All they need to do is bake it at the right temperature and give it the right amount of time. As a new homeowner, Acho, I pray for you because everything in that house is going to be twice as long and twice as much.